Gosh, I've been thinking a lot about what we could do to help support the kids for ISTEP. Our teachers are working so hard. They've done a good job all year long. And I know our kids are working hard. I see them in their classrooms every day. What could we do to just encourage them a little bit more? Maybe I'll just call Mr. Amstutz and Mr. Barker, because those two guys, they love Twitter and they use hashtags a lot. And hashtags are kind of like the main idea or what's important. And I'm going to see what they have to say about ISTEP practice tips.
Hey, Mr. Amstutz, what's up?
Oh, hashtag not much. Hashtag just chilling. What's up with you?
Not much either. Hashtag ISTEP prep.
Oh, I know, right? Hashtag prepping for the testing. Hey, I'm making a video for the school, hashtag again, and I could really use you giving some hashtag words of advice. And since you used to be a coach, hashtag throwback, figure you could offer some good advice.
Sure, I've got some great hashtag basketball tips. Hashtag take good shots. Hashtag defense. Hashtag gotta block out. Hashtag...
No, Mr. Barker. I mean, hashtag real talk, test-taking tips for the students.
Hashtag JK. The students should get a hashtag playbook of things to do for the test.
Like, hashtag give me an example.
Hashtag work hard. Hashtag read the whole question. Hashtag use context clues.
Oh, that's some good advice. Hashtag yeah. Hashtag thank you, Mr. Barker. You're really good at these hashtag things, and you were in the hashtag news banner, weren't you? Tell me more about that.
Hashtag front page. Hashtag celebrity. Hashtag cool. Hashtag cooler than being cool. Hashtag ice cold. Hashtag cold stone ice cream. Hashtag cream of corn. Hashtag cornhole. Hashtag holy cow ain't nobody better tweeting than me.
Hashtag good one, Mr. Barker. But I think I'm pretty good at hashtags too. You know, like hashtag computer lab, hashtag labradoodle, hashtag doodle buddy, hashtag buddy the elf, hashtag funny movie, hashtag LOL.
Are you suggesting we have a hashtag battle over hashtags?
Hashtag I'm ready for this. Hashtag me first, I step style. Hashtag I step, hashtag I step into the room prepared.
Hashtag prepared to do my best. Hashtag best believe it.
Hashtag it ain't gonna worry me too much.
Hashtag much of the time I'll read carefully.
Hashtag carefully check my answer.
Hashtag answer as best you can. Hashtag can do great.
Hashtag great students don't rush the test. Hashtag test practice. Hashtag practice what you've learned. Hashtag learn what your teachers teach. Hashtag teach yourself good tips. Hashtag tip of the pencil to make your mark heavy and dark. Hashtag dark night. Hashtag I'm Batman. Wow. We could also say something so they don't worry too much. Hashtag don't stress. Hashtag work hard. Hashtag do your best. Hashtag
Hey guys, hashtag we got this. Take a look at what the other teachers here at the elementary think.
Hashtag reread the question.
Hashtag get enough sleep the night before.
Hashtag does it make sense?
Hashtag remember what they're asking.
Hashtag don't spend too much time on any one problem.
Hashtag use your best handwriting.
Hashtag believe you can do it.
Hashtag take the time to read.
Hashtag draw pictures for story problems.
Hashtag skip it and come back. Hashtag do your personal best.
Hashtag look back in the story.
Hashtag smell the roses. Blow out the candles.
Hashtag show your work.
Hashtag slow down.
Hashtag may the force be with you.
Hashtag rock the test.